Trump is putting the message out that he's not giving up on Pete Hegseth. I know that you guys are tired of talking about Pete Hegseth, but we're going to talk about Pete Hegseth because if they can get Pete Hegseth, if they can stop him, the next one down will be that much easier. Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., I promise you they're next on the list. So Trump's got to hold the line with Pete and put up a good fight for him. He didn't have as much foundation to back Matt Gaetz. Welcome to John Mike Keane.
Contrary to what many in the media are reporting, there has never been a wavering in the optimism and the confidence from President Trump in Pete Hegseth.
So it's all media. It's all media telling you that Pete Hegseth has a 50-50 chance. I don't know that. I'm just telling you what she is saying.
Who are very big supporters of Pete Hegseth. Donald Trump is listening to lots of different voices about this. I'll give you my reporting and then throw it to you, Sean. I heard from a very good source today that by the weekend, Ron DeSantis will be the nominee for defense secretary. One source, I'm not telling you it's definitely true, but that's certainly the case. However, if you go on X, you will see another cavalcade of strong supporters for Hegseth who are making this a test of Donald Trump's fidelity to MAGA, and they find it insulting that someone who MAGA has turned on bigly, Ron DeSantis, would possibly replace.
Now, here's the Hill. Mike Johnson is optimistic about Pete Hegseth. He says, we believe in redemption. That's a tiny way of the Hill to throw a little shade at Pete Hegseth because of everyone's going after him for being some kind of a raging, slobbering alcoholic, which is not true. You know who is a raging, slobbering alcoholic is Nancy Pelosi. No one says a thing or questions her character.
He is brilliant. He is intelligent. He is a war fighter, a decorated combat veteran who honorably served this great country.
Yeah, he actually has great credentials. He's done stuff. He's been in the military, and that's exactly what you want, minimum. But you don't want someone in the upper ranks of general, and we've run out of all of those people. We're out of generals. They're all sellouts. They all have been compromised. I don't know what the deal is with generals, but they leave the military. They go straight to Lockheed, and they're on the board. They're making millions of dollars. They're setting up all of their grift before they leave office. And they start landing lucrative contracts with the government and with whichever company they're working for. Pete Hegseth is not that. He's from a much lower rank. And this, by the way, this is Trump's press secretary. That's his Karine Jean-Pierre, only she has a broad vocabulary, can put sentences together and answer with more than just, we've already covered that.
And when you hear him speak on Capitol Hill, you hear how passionate he is to stand up for the war fighters, the men and women who are honorably serving this country in uniform.
The men and women in uniform are servicemen and women. They trust him. They like him. And I want them to get the confidence from the leadership again, instead of feeling like the leadership could sell them out. Like if they don't get a certain vaccine, they're going to throw them out. Or they're going to do the DEI thing on them and start implying that certain white members have a problem with racism while certain black members do not, which is what they did. They're demoralizing their own people. And massively, recruits are down. Guys, we got to do something. We don't have a standing army where we're not filling our quotas. We're not landing the planes on the ship, the number of planes we need to land on the ship in a certain amount of time. We can't hit the target with our battle readiness. It's saggy. It's liberal. It's floppy. We need someone to put it all back together again. Hopefully that's Pete Hegseth. I'll try someone new, someone young.
The Pentagon is clearly failing the American people. Look at the conflicts we are embroiled in abroad. They just failed their 7th audit in a row.
Pentagon is a fraud. They cannot audit themselves. 7 times they can't come up with a budget and hold to it. And then they're going to criticize Pete Hegseth. What if he cracks a whip and gets a budget locked down within a month, which is possible. But I'm only saying it's not their priority. They're getting away with just slack job. You lose confidence in your military and you lose a lot in a country. And worst of all, you invite trouble from everywhere around the world. Meanwhile, China's ramping up. I don't want to accuse them of anything or get anybody scared. But it looks like they're ramping up for an invasion. Of course, the dumbest thing they could ever do is invade. But you get the idea. You don't want to invite trouble.
The American people elected President Trump to nominate outsiders who are not entrenched in Washington politics to shake up the swamp. That's exactly what Pete Hegseth is going to do. That's why the swamp is after him. President Trump stands by him 100%.
Trump is standing strong behind Pete Hegseth. Do you? Let me know in the comments below. Say, we stand with Pete Hegseth. Spell out his name so everyone can read your comment. I want people to feel his support. Thanks for watching. I'm John Mike Keane.